Did y'all know that there's actually hidden rules based on research that will help you level up faster? There is a sociologist named Ruby Payne who wrote a book called The Framework to Understanding Poverty. In this book, she listed hidden rules amongst people in poverty, people in middle class, and people in wealth. I read this book in college, so a lot of the research might be outdated, but some things still apply true to this day. In this book, she points out different indicators that are common amongst people who live in poverty, people who live in middle class, and people who live in wealth. There is a chart in the book called Hidden Rules. You can screenshot this one or you can just Google it yourself, but it's called Hidden Rules Amongst Classes. She gives an overview of how people in poverty, middle class, and wealth use things like money. Money in poverty is used to be spent. It's not really about investing. It's not about saving. In middle class, it's about management, money management. How can I save this? And in wealth, it's to be conserved or invested. She uses something like worldview and how people in poverty see the world. They see it in terms of a local setting. People in middle class see it as a national setting. And then people who grew up in wealth, they see it on an international scale. So if you really think about it, if you watch a news story, you're thinking about it on a local level, then there's a national level, and then there's an international level. How does this affect the greater whole? She points out something like love, which I thought was super interesting. People in poverty look at love based on whether an individual is liked or not. There's not really much depth to that. People in middle class, it's based on if this person has their bachelor's degree, do they have their master's degree, how does this person fit into my life? And then love and wealth is based on social connections and achievement. So the best way I can explain it is somebody like the Gates family or the Trump family. They don't really they don't really like a person based on whether they love them or not. They love this person based on what connections this person really has and how do they fit into their life. This book is super interesting, and even if you don't buy the book, I would suggest you just look at that chart and take an inventory on what behaviors seem normal to you growing up. Where do you fall into that chart? And what are some ways that you can merge into wealth without completely changing who you are?